Hello, I'm VXToyCam. Welcome back to the video. Today we're talking about the edge of the world in Minecraft. This is actually a Minecraft console exclusive limitation, or if you want to be a glass half full type of person, it's a Minecraft console exclusive feature where basically when you go to 432 blocks, usually with a classic size world, you're going to hit an invisible wall and you're just going to see water or see land, and it's going to be that forever onwards, and you're meant to just turn back and keep on doing other stuff. And that's what most people do. However, recently I spent quite a few hours just goofing around and seeing what you could do at the edge of the world, and today I figured I'd show you some of the cool things that you can do at the edge of the world, whether it's glitches, whether it's information, or whether it's somewhere in between. Hopefully you'll do enjoy today's video talking about the edge of the world. So if you do, like the video, let me know, because it helps out the channel a lot, and lets me know you do like these kind of like glitch information and kind of like a building project all in one videos. And it also lets it also lets me know that you want to see how the pig can walk and walk though, because he was doing it earlier on the video, but he can't do it just then. So yeah, with that said, he generally was walking with water in the beginning of the video. Go back and check it. With that said, let's get straight into the video, shall we? And let's start by talking about the first thing you can do at the edge of the world, because again, there's the edge of the world is at 432 blocks. If you try to go any further than this, you just cannot. There's no way to get beyond 432, because that's the very last chunk in the world, unless you use ender pearls, of course. This is the one glitch that has still existed, because if you fire ender pearls at the floor here, it'll actually glitch you to the right a little bit, allow you to go further to the right than you should be able to, and get you to minus 433 or plus 432. A really, really cool way to get one block further out, which doesn't have much use if you just do it like this, but if you have a mountain or some big body of blocks here, you can actually use ender pearls on this side of it, and you can obviously get really low down the mountain, which is an awesome way to hide, because think, no one's going to be expecting the cat to be on this side of the mountain, and it's going to be really, really tricky for them to see you here anyway, especially if you crouch and hide in the bottom of the thing. And basically, yeah, if you want to go in a really hidden place, you can do it here. Also, obviously, you can get below the water here. Really, really dangerous stuff when you do it like that, but something that you might just want to do personally. So now we're trapped out there, and just like that, we're back out and free. So yeah, that said, let's always, if you're doing that in survival, always remember to bring an ender pearl, an extra ender pearl, because if you don't, also we glitched an ender pearl and then it might into the edge of the world. Pretty cool little thing you can do, by the way. Can't even attack it because it's at the edge. But yeah, with that said, that's something I didn't know it's legislated right now, by the way. Really cool little glitch. So yeah, with that said, let's move into the second of the cool things you can do at the edge of the world, which is to do with pistons and the edge. So pistons and the edge of the world interact in a really, really strange way. It's been changing constantly as to how it works in the last 20 updates or so, but with the last few updates, it has been getting more consistent and been getting more fun, because first of all, they made it so the pistons would not work at the edge of the world at all. You know, if you tried to do that, it just wouldn't open because it's too close to the edge. Then they made it so they could go to the edge of the world and they could withdraw blocks. Then they made it so you could both take blocks from the edge of the world, like diamonds, and you could put blocks there. Then they took away the functionality to take away blocks, but you can still put blocks at the edge of the world. So if you want to, say for instance, put a brick block at the edge of the world, guess what? You can do it, but you cannot take the block back. You cannot take the block back, and once it's there, it stays there, because the thing about the edge of the world in Minecraft is it is unbreakable. You cannot break this from any, you cannot break this from any direction. It's just an unbreakable piece of block, which means once you place a block there using a piston, it stays there forever. And this is really cool, because it means that if you want to have a house with a back wall, you can do it, and you can have a permanent back wall that no one can destroy. So again, if you want to do this for an entire wall, you can totally do that. If you want to have some glass there so you can have a window, you can totally do that too. And there's a whole bunch of possibilities you can do with this. I think the coolest ones personally are to either one, have a house in the corner of the world, because you can do this with both corners. So you could have, like, let's say over here, have a full-on house, like a really nicely designed house, except it backs onto the edge of the world. This is a really, really safe place to be, because you can only be attacked from two angles, and if you're really paranoid about being attacked, then this is something you might find useful. But yeah, so going to the edge, the corner of the world and having a actual safe house with walls and everything, that's my first idea. The second idea, though, is just to have a really big glass wall at one of the edges, just to kind of have somewhere nice to look at this cool stuff from. So if you want to, you'd have piston on top of piston and then have some glass there. You could just have a giant window here, which just lets people see that you got some stuff there. So whatever you decide to do with this, it's a cool way to have blocks on the edge of the world that you cannot break in any way using your fist. And again, you can use it for parkour, use it for anything where you just don't want your blocks to be broken through conventional means, because once a block is in the edge of the world, it can only be broken in one way, and that one way is TNT or other explosions. So yeah, let's grab some TNT, shall we? And let's show you how you get rid of this or any other block at the edge of the world. Because one thing you might not know is that these blocks at the edge of the world, if they are annoying you, like let's say you've got a mountain here and you really, really want to is that ender mite still there? But yeah, let's say you have a big mountain at the edge of the world and you really, really want to destroy it, so you can have a boat pathway going all the way around the edge. One thing you might decide to do is use TNT. So what you want to do is you want to just obviously, I think this is pretty self-explanatory, really. Place the thing that goes boom near something that activates the thing that goes boom, and then what do you know? It goes boom and makes some blocks destroy. So yeah, this is also handy for trying to get blocks out the edge of the world. A lot of the time you won't get them back, but sometimes you actually will, and it's something that is pretty handy and is pretty cool. because destroying the edge of the world is something you're not meant to be able to do, and it's something you can do using TNT. So yeah, if you want to reset the whole thing and actually get some water, or if you just want to destroy an annoying mountain, use explosions. It's pretty fun. So speaking of using explosions to do that whole thing, I figure I should mention one last, since we're on the subject of like death and explosion stuff anyway, I figured I would mention a really cool thing you can use, the piston for, because you might be thinking like, what would I have used to put blocks in the edge of the world for? So one of the cool uses I think you might find is doing something like this. So let's say you've got a mostly covered plane like this, but with a little gap in there so you can swim, but you can only be at the edge of the world like this. A fun little fact that a lot of people don't know is that the last block in the world is never breakable, but the block before that is only breakable from the side, not from this side, but from the other side. So you can only break this block over here from this side. So I'll try and break from here. You can't break it. Oh, sorry. I'll try and break it from from here. Can't break the block. Try and break the block from here. You can break the block. So the reason this is interesting is because you can use this in conjunction with like traps and one-way doors and stuff to make it so that people are actually trapped on that side of the world. So let's just place all of these over there. As you can see, now we've got glass at the edge of the world, and there's no way out once you get there. Let's say we had a big wall of that there. You can have a big kind of water tank that's just there for death and there to trap people, and you can make it so there's only a one-way way in and out. Because the thing is, if you do decide to dig down, so let's make an example here. Let's grab an iron door. You can make a one-way death chamber and like a really cool trap so on, because if you do decide to dig down to the surface there like this, you can place a door on this side if you want to, as long as you place it like that, but the door cannot be broken or touched on the other side. So let's say you now, put little blocks up there, and then make it go up to here. Now you can have a one-way entrance into this door. You can even activate it on this side, so let's say we put a lever on the floor. In fact, let's put a pressure plate on the floor next to it, right? So we place pressure plate just over here. Now the door can be opened on this side, but once you go through it, you're actually trapped on that side. If you try and break the block to get back in, you can't do it because you can't break any blocks on this side. Try and break the block under it, you can't do the same thing. And if you make all of the blocks above you also made out of something, like I said, it's a death chamber. It's a really cool one. And if you want to have ways to torch people in your world, one, you should, that sounds like a real issue, but two, here's a way of doing it. Probably not the best advice, like, this probably isn't the best of ideas, but if you want to do it, this is the way you do it. So yeah, with that said, let's move on to the final thing you can do at the edge of the world, and this is something that came in with TU31 with sponges, because it's a lot easier to do now, and basically you can do a really cool glitch, because, if you look at the edge of the world, it looks like it's a continuous source of water, but only some of that water actually exists. Most of it is just there for decoration, which means that if you find a block of water, which is only like one deep like this, you can actually drain all the water out of it. So we do this, for instance. As you can see, we're draining most of the water like this very, very easily, and we can do this to kind of make, like, a 2D water source that no one can actually get nearby. So just keep on placing the blocks like this, and then grab a water bucket, and, or just a regular bucket, and finish up all the rest like this. And as you can see, you can just drain all of the water out the edge of the world in a very, very easy way. I think this is really, really cool for a lot of different reasons, but particularly, okay, so let's just finish all this up right here. I think this is cool for a lot of reasons, but the coolest one to me is you can trick people. A lot of this is tricking people and just really cool effects, because if you look at that big flowing water, it looks like you should be able to jump in it. And most people assume you can, because that's how things work, but because it's the edge of the world, that water does not exist. If you try and jump in it, you'll go like that, and you'll fall. And since you can break these blocks going down as far as you want, you can make people fall to their death this way. Even though it looks like you should be able to jump into it, you cannot, and it's a pretty fun little weird thing. So yeah, weird stuff to do at the edge of the world. Here's one of the things. You can make a death chamber. You can make an underwater death chamber, or you can just trick people. Whatever you want to do, there's lots of fun stuff at the edge of the world, and hopefully this video inspired you to build something, whether it is the corner of the world house, whether it is the walking on water pigs, whether it is any of these things. Hopefully it has. If it has, let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, like the video if you did like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, and lets me know you do like this sort of stuff. Again, I thought this was an interesting little video, because I was just goofing around the edge of the world, and I found out a bunch of stuff. If you like seeing stuff like this, and you want to see another video of the same type, except I don't know how you do something like this, but still, let me know. And besides that, I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you all very much for watching, and goodbye.